So, good afternoon, and as has already been said, I'm Tom Grinier, the Chief Exec at the Institute of Physics, and I'd like to welcome you all to the closing panel on innovative startups commercialising quantum technology into growth applications. And I've got to say, what a great day, and it's great to be here, and it's great to see so many familiar faces coming together. And the IOP is delighted to be here because we hope that we've been shaping the debate on matters important to science, innovation community, and in particular around quantum technology. Quantum became the focus of a significant impact project for us that we ran in 2022, culminating in the publication of what we feel is our seminal report, a vision for quantum technologies in the UK. Copies of which you can access either via the QR code on the IOP stand at the back of the hall or on the IOP or via the swap card portal. Throughout the whole of last year, we worked closely with the Department for Business, Energy, Industry and Strategy, as it was then, to support the development of a national strategy for the quantum sector. And our own report drew insight and evidence from the physics community. Many of you are in the hall today, via multiple stakeholder events and commission research. It called for an ambitious long-term approach, including innovative roadmaps, a scaled-up UK quantum research and innovation community, and support for international partnerships. So therefore, we were absolutely delighted to see the recommendations were so clearly reflected in the UK government's recently published National Quantum Strategy, which, well, we don't know by the end of today, sets out the 10-year ambition of the UK to lead the world in quantum technology, supported by that commitment to invest 2.5 billion in the sector, with the aim of attracting significant additional private investment on top of that. Off the back of that project, we also catalysed our IOP member community to form the new Quantum Business Innovation and Growth Group, or QBIG, to become the 52nd of our IOP special interest groups that allow members with a shared interest in a particular discipline or application to come together to share knowledge and ideas, as well as delivering events and awarding prizes to outstanding individuals and teams within that community. And the reason I mention this is that, as has been said, we'll be handing out such a prize at the end of tonight's event, the inaugural QBIG prize, supported by the quantum-focused investment company Quantum Exponential. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce some of the esteemed members of our physics community, who I hope are now all mic'd up, to contribute to a panel discussion, putting some of that ambition to power up the quantum sector, and we hope making waves as they enter the market, all of which we'll be discussing tonight. So I'd like to welcome onto the stage Dr. Niall Holmes. Niall? I would like to welcome Niall. I'll try Mirella Collivar. They're making their way here. Wen Miao Yu, Stuart Nicol, and here we go. It's a big room, it's a big room. And Andre Dragomir. So, Andre, Mirella, Stuart, Wen Miao, and great, that's brilliant. So, what I'm going to ask each of the panel members to do is to introduce themselves, and as part of that, to tell us a bit more about what makes their company unique, and what innovative quantum technologies are you adopting, and what are the potential growth applications that you're pioneering. So I'll start at this end of the row.
Thank you. Sorry, I was trying to find a microphone, but I've got one now, so that's all good. I'm Niall Holmes. I'm one of the co-founders of Circa Magnetics Limited. We develop wearable brain scanning technologies using quantum-enabled magnetic field sensors to measure magnetic and electromagnetic signals coming from neurons in the brain. This is a wearable technology. It's much more accurate than the current state of the art, and we're really hoping we can push that through to the medical market in the coming years.
So going down the line.
So hello everybody, my name is Mirella Collivar. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Quantopticon. Quantopticon develops the world's first commercially available computer-aided design tool for quantum photonics applications. Our groundbreaking software suite is basically our aim. The aim of our groundbreaking software simulation suite is to streamline and accelerate the design cycle of photonic quantum computers and quantum communication networks, and to enable and to unlock the door really to high-scale, high-volume manufacturing, and really unlike all of the simulation software that is available out there, we are uniquely poised to facilitate the integration of quantum photonic hardware on chip, and simultaneously we can also optimize and maximize the performance of the resultant quantum photonic integration circuit. And by virtue of this, we're really we're helping to bring these technologies out into the mainstream. So thank you.
Thank you. Stuart?
Hi, everyone. I'm Stuart Nicol. I'm the Chief Investment Officer of Quantum Exponential Group, PLC. We're a UK-based global investor in quantum technology. We've currently invested in 6 companies, hopefully, fingers crossed, soon to be a 7th. We've done that across sensors, security, quantum computing, and we're just setting out to raise a £100 million fund to hopefully do a whole load more of that with similar-sized companies, pre-seed up to Series A globally. I also mentor on Creative Destruction Lab, and we're very pleased to be sponsoring the IOP prize this evening.
Thank you. Wen-Mao?
Hi, everyone. I'm Wen-Mao, one of the co-founders and the Director of Business Development for Quantum Dice. We are enabling cybersecurity through a self-certifying quantum random number generator. We are a spin-out from the University of Oxford, and we are currently at a pre-seed stage, about 16 people based in central Oxford, and we are currently working with network security developers, both those building quantum security systems as well as classical security systems, to be one of the first steps to help end users in industries outside of quantum to move towards quantum secure data protection.
Thank you. And last but not least, and last to get mic'd, Andre.
Hello, everyone. I'm Andre. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Aquar Technologies, and we are a startup that's been established after more than a decade of research at University of Southampton, and we specialize in miniaturization and portability solutions for quantum technology based on cold and ultra-cold matter. Effectively, we found a way to remove more than half of the system generally required for creating cold matter, and we're planning to use this innovation to accelerate the development and the market adoption of these devices for sensing and computing. And we aim to unlock applications such as scanning the underground and navigation in GPS-denied environments.
Thank you. So, obviously, in the introduction, a theme running throughout the day has been the recently published National Quantum Strategy. And I'm just going to ask the panel, perhaps in the other order, so starting with Andre, to tell us about some of the potential opportunities that you see arising from it that will help you to commercialise your technology. And then I could just ask you to concentrate, what one thing would you like to see happen that could accelerate the growth in the sector? So I'll start with you, Andre.
Thank you. It's an interesting question, and I believe that UK is in a unique position at this point in time because specifically of the amazing innovation that came out of the first level quantum hub. So the UK, in my opinion at least, has a leading position in terms of innovation. And now with this new exciting strategy that is coming up, we're really looking at the potential of having a leader position in terms of commercializing this technology, not only innovating on it. So from our point of view, what we would like to see is that is to capitalize on this opportunity and to create a sovereign supply chain that is strong enough to sustain the quantum technology field on an international level. And we as a company were very keen and excited to be part of this challenge and journey.
Thank you. Wen-Mao?
Well, I think from my perspective, Quantum Dice is a relatively young spin-out, have really benefited and can attribute a lot of our growth in terms of product, but also team over the past few years, thanks to the support from venture capital firms, but also from Innovate UK through various grant-funded projects. And for us, these grant-funded projects have really been crucial to help us gain initial traction and to help us get to the stage where we are currently within less than 4 years of having 2 commercially available products and also having made our first sale. But I think looking at the recent UK quantum strategy, one area that I think is of interest is actually the focus on developing a quantum workforce, and also a quantum workforce that has people other than quantum physicists or engineers. So on a personal note, I'm not a quantum physicist or an engineer. I studied chemistry. It's still a science subject. However, a lot of what I have been doing at Quantum Dice in the past few years is actually focused on, I guess, translating very cutting-edge scientific innovation into marketable products that can solve existing problems, and working with various stakeholders, both in quantum but also outside of quantums, and helping guide them alongside that journey. And I think the investment that the UK government has signposted, focused on developing the quantum workforce, is something to be really proud and to really look towards leveraging.
Thanks. I think that workforce point is absolutely crucial, and as the Institute of Physics is looking at our own strategy, skills and workforce, I think are absolutely crucial. So really pleased that you focused on that. Stuart, over to you.
Yeah, so I'll touch on a couple of the areas that haven't already been mentioned. As I mentioned, we're fundraising at the moment. It would be very nice if some of that funding from the government came to us, but also importantly, because this is a strategic area, there will be investments that we want, that UK ought to be making outside of UK, which doesn't necessarily mean that that many people will be employed in UK. At the moment, the government setup of funding isn't really in place to do that. So I think that's a strategic area for them to focus on.
And a key part of our report as well, of that international aspect that really does play into that R&D piece. Carrying on down.
So I think in terms of the priority actions of the National Quantum Strategy, I would say that the collaborative R&D programs with international partners, the £70 million program on missions for quantum computing and PNT, as well as the challenge-led innovation funding pieces that stimulate collaboration between government, industry, and academia are of most interest to Quantopticon and most welcome, because it will allow us to develop our model further, our modeling capabilities further, in order to address the ever-evolving needs for our customers. And I would also say that the procurement from the National Quantum Computing Center and the Quantum Catalyst Fund would also would lend us incredible credibility and also exposure both within and outside the borders of the UK.
Yeah, being up in Harwell a couple of weeks ago and seeing the centre emerge was just so impressive. And Niall?
I think it's very exciting and very good that they've chosen to continue the stuff. I think the Quantum National Technology Programme initially funded the work, obviously, that eventually became CERCA, the spin-out from the University of Nottingham. And I guess my PhD was part of that programme, and I think it's really good because there was probably a potential that some of the skills and the talent that's been built up through those original programs could, in theory, have been lost, and that would have been a real shame. So I think it's great that more talent will be created, and it's great that more people will keep going, and that can only benefit companies like ours, I think.
So the last question, and I appreciate we're standing now between people and drinks. So the last question before we get on with the awards is, what would your words of wisdom be to any individuals, either in academia or business, who are thinking about harnessing or commercialising quantum technology? And I'll go down that way again. So,
I think the big thing for us was as academics moving into the commercial world was partnering with a existing industrial company with expertise in simple things, the back office, the accounts, the HR, everything that as a scientist you either don't want to deal with or physically would be incapable of concentrating for long enough to do. So I think it's stuff like that has been key to how CERCA have managed to actually get products out there so quickly. We have experienced salespeople from another company, and that collaboration really helped us get off the ground. You know, when we were a two-man company working out of my office, that was difficult, but with that help, we've now been able to stand on our own feet a little bit more gradually. We're not burning through money, employing people too early, and we're not wasting the time of the people who should be doing the science and the research. Yeah,
I think that collaboration piece is so important. Carrying on down the line.
Yeah, so I would say that, sorry. I think the number one priority really is for people to thoroughly research the quantum industry landscape and to understand what level of advancement the state of the art is, and to also understand what the remit of the state of the art is and where it's practically applicable. And I think this piece of advice is valid for both individuals who are looking to take a new quantum solution to market, as well as those who are already offering, whose quantum products are already available on the market.
I just enlarge on that point. A long time ago, and a severe haircut ago, I was in the military, and we had that homily that time spent on reconnaissance is seldom wasted. So please, before you jump into anything, speak to entrepreneurs here, speak to people like the Institute of Physics, speak to investors. There should be nobody in what you're trying to do that hasn't got the time for a conversation. And there's so much to learn and so many mistakes to make. Just try and sort of minimize that as best you can, and be confident that maybe even if it doesn't work out, you still feel it's the right time for you to push forward. And we do need people to be brave in this, but we don't need people to be foolhardy.
When
Well, I think first I completely agree with the point that Marilyn made about understanding what the current technology capabilities are and not getting carried away by the hype, because that can lead to a lot of disappointments later on with everyone. But I think my piece of advice for anyone who perhaps comes from an enterprise perspective, who is interested in learning about the current state of quantum technologies and what the available solutions are, but perhaps do not have the resources of a larger corporate to form your own in-house quantum team, is to actually leverage industry groups that are already out there. So, for example, QBIG at the Institute of Physics, the Quantum Business Innovation Growth Group, we were specifically set up by those working in the industry, from academia, startups, medium-sized enterprises, as well as larger corporates. And we are there, and we are very much interested in engaging with colleagues outside of the quantum sector who are interested in learning a bit more about what the current solutions are, and also how it could be tailored and also then integrated inside their own organizations.
And if anybody does want to find out more about that, so thank you for the plug. We've got the stand outside, and there's plenty of IOP staff on there that are very happy to talk about that in more detail. And last but not least, Andre.
Thank you. I'm going to echo a similar sentiment of not falling into the hype of things. I would say that, first of all, this technology requires patience, and it's worth it because it does enable capabilities that otherwise we wouldn't achieve. But it does take time, and it's a complicated technology to push through and to commercialize. And secondly, no matter if you are a business trying to adopt quantum technologies or a young entrepreneur that wants to go into the field and you're trying to solve a problem, I would say consider and ask yourself, is quantum the right way to address that particular problem? And if it is, then do take the deep dive. Don't hesitate and support the technology, because it's really worth it.
Thank you. And thank you for all your answers. So before we draw our conclusions to a close, first of all, I'd like to thank all our panellists for making time at the end of the day and joining us to give their great insights and sharing invaluable thoughts in the work they do. So thank you very much. And I'd also like to thank The Economist for hosting us here today and for all their support behind the scenes in helping organise this panel. So thank you to The Economist. So you can see there's an empty seat. Who is going to sit in the empty seat? All that it leaves me to do is to invite onto the stage Lewis Barson. So up to the stage, Lewis. Lewis is the IOP's Director for Science, Innovation and Skills, and he's going to introduce the inaugural QBIG Prize.
Thank you very much, Tom. Really appreciate the introduction. I'd just like to say the IOP Q-Big Prize is a brand new IOP special interest group prize that is awarded to small and medium-sized enterprises working on taking quantum technologies, products or solutions to market. So I'm really happy to be announcing the winner of this year's Q-Big Prize, together with Wen Miao Yu of Quantum Dyson representing the Q-Big group, and Stuart Nicol of Quantum Exponential. But Stuart, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, just to let you know, so this is the beginning of a 3-year of us sponsoring the Q-Big Prize, and we hope it gets bigger and better as we go along. But the prize is £10,000 cash, at least 6 months mentoring from me and other members of the Q-Big committee, and also extensive use of the IOP accelerator space at King's Cross. And also, whilst they won't get the cash, the runners-up will also receive the mentoring and use of the IOP as well. And I hope you will all see this as us trying to encourage commercialized early-stage businesses to come sort of out in the open a little bit, be celebrated, get some of the great marketing they're getting here today, and really give them a boost forwards and reduce the risk of them as they hopefully go on to do big and better things.
Thank you, Stuart. And Wen Miao from the Q-Big group.
Yes, well, I think it was a pleasure from my part anyway to be part of the judging committee for the first Q-Big Prize. And the quality of applicants that we received for this first year was extremely high. But it's really wonderful to see 3 of the finalists here with me today. So Aquark Technologies, Quantopticon, and also Circa Magnetics.
Fantastic. So I guess all that remains is to announce the winner of the 2023 IOP Q-Big Prize. And the winner is, one more please, Circa Magnetics. So Circa Magnetics received the Q-Big Prize for bringing to market the world's first wearable magnetoencephalography scanner. I hope I've said that right. Thank you very much. Which measures human brain function in health and in disease, providing unprecedented accuracy and unparalleled practicality. So congratulations again, Circa Magnetics.
I think I'm also right in saying an IOP Business Award winner as well. So a good 6 months for you with IOP and awards. So thank you, Lewis, and congratulations. Before we end, I'd just like to thank everyone for attending today, and in particular for staying for the closing panel. I'd like you to invite you to join us at the main exhibition floor immediately following for some drinks and nibbles. And finally, please join me again in thanking our panellists, and congratulations to our prize winner.